Hello, can you hear me? I've got my hand signals mixed up. All right, couple more clicks and then away we go. That's that one. And here's this one. Okay, do I have it all? I did that. I did that. Yeah. All right. So this a bit more light. Yep. All right. Here we go. I expand. All right, let's bow in. Shoulder knee. Big. Hey. お願いします。はい。Toes. I stretch up and turn. Other side. Swing back and turn. Other side. Touch toes. And legs wide. Touch toes. Other side. Center. And turn behind. Open the chest. Other side. Down the center again. Feet together. Loosen them up. Right. Bring your thumbs in towards your feet. Your center point towards your feet. Right. And open the rib cage. And turn. Other side. And turn. Right. Circles with the ankles. Other way. Alternate. And toes. And away. Stretch out. Widen them. Pounding. Up. Other foot. Away. Bend the toes. Away. Stretch them out. Widen. Right. Massage. Right. Pounding. Right on the belly. And up like a snake. Right to the side. Other side. Right and alternate. Right and child's pose. Side. Other side. Drop a shoulder. Other shoulder. And drop a shoulder, roll the arm. And the other side. Up onto the toes. And circles with the knees. Other way. Both ways. And now I touch toes. I touch toes. I touch knees out, bend. And up again. Legs wide. Other side. Drop the shoulder. Other side. Alternate. And all the way down. Other side. And body square on the center line. Drop the shoulder. And alternate. Lower the hips. Stretch them out. Just up. And when we scoop it up, we bring it into our tongue then. And then push it up and out. Scoop it up, bring it in. Expand and expel. Last one. Circles with the head. Other way. Right, side to side. And side to side this way. Then the hands up over the head. Take a step forward, shift the weight, stretch to the outside. Other side. Again. And this one. And then this one. Yes. And also this. Let's do this one again. Other side. Right. And then a little bit of this. This one. And from below. Other side. And copyright. Other side. Sankyo. Other side. And then this one. This one. Switch again. And switch again. Shake them out. The whole arm shake out. At the end. Big one now. And left foot forward, right foot back, 65 degrees out. Shoulders up and back and down. Here we go. Hey ho, 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 hey ho. Right foot forward. More legs. Open the chest. Hey ho, 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 hey ho. Then again. All right, so let's start off with the Joe. Even though we've been doing it a lot, I was so proud of you. You've done a lot of Joe with me, and then Nimata Sensei was so blown away by everybody, including you. So, はい、お願いします。And last night I really paid attention to his, let's see, 15 and 16, step 15, step 16, where, let's see, we're like this for 14. And then he does it this, from here, he does a retracting, and then this slides, and then he flips, and this slides. And I was teaching it to you. I did notice weeks ago, whenever it was, that I did notice that he seemed to do it two different ways. But for what it's worth, last night he was consistently, from what I could see, he was consistently, doing the retracting, rolling the front hand over, and then this. So we'll do that. I think his main point that he keeps making is that, you know, this kata is meant for embodying each different movement so that you can mix and match anyway. But so we'll just stay with whatever he's doing at the moment until we want to do freestyle. So let's work on it the same pace that we've been doing a lot of the time, the slowish pace first. Let's really pay attention to detail. Hold ourselves to a high standard with posture and everything. Keep this nice space between the ears and shoulders. And let's stop at 6, just because, okay? So here we go. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. All right, let's do 6 again. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, and then it was really, really interesting. How did he say it? Anyway, he said the same. I was excited. He said, because he's a senior teacher to me. So anyway, I forget his words, but basically he said exactly the same thing that I've said to you guys, which is that on this one and this one, don't think of striking the target. Think of striking the person. Especially this one, and especially this one. When people look at that target, I often see their knee go like this. And I often see them end up in irimi body. Okay. But when they're looking out here for that strike, as if they're looking at this attacker, they have a much better chance of not doing this and not going all the way to irimi body. Yeah. So let's just, let's go to 10 now, but keep that in mind. I thought there was one other thing that he said that I wanted to remember. Anyway. Oh, yes. So the other thing that caught my attention recently that he's been repeating. This is irimi body. I think I have a tendency to do hammi body, but it's irimi body, which also means that this shoulder is hidden. So it's looking good, actually. Yeah, very nice. I'm pretty sure that sometimes my shoulder's coming out into view. So irimi body with the shoulder hidden. And then it's the same in this direction, irimi body. This way. Okay. So let's go up to 10. Right, here we go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And again to 10. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. And let's go up to 14. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11、12、13、14、15、16、17、18、19、20、21、22、 13、14. Nice. Yeah. And let's go to 15, 16 already. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, let's do 16 again. はい。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Great. Great, great. All right. No Joe now. Okay. We'll go slowish again. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Oof, 15, 16 is weird still. Or again. Let's do it with the Joe. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Yeah, nice. Without the Joe. はい。each end. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Oof. With the Joe again. I don't know about you, but it's feeling more natural. It's all the way from 11, actually, that starts to feel weird to me. So here we go. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、 6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Okay, without one more time. Looking really, really good. はい。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Better and better. Look at the clock again. Okay. One more time with, one more time without. It's really starting to look natural. And starting to feel natural on my side too. Here we go. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Yes. Okay, one more without. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now last one with the Joe, and this time we'll take the speed up a little bit. Right. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16. Beautiful. Wow. All right. Excellent. Okay. はい。じゃあ、それで、ありがとうございました。はい。Okay. And let's just review a little bit first with, in fact, yeah. Let's get, what do I want? I think Bokdo. Let's start with Bokdo. Right. So let's review C pattern, and we'll imagine Iriminage, and yeah, so since the C pattern has Tenkan, and then Kesagiri, and Kiriage. I'm sure that you remember it, or at least your body will remember it. So take a step forward, and as we do tenkan, we cut kesa. We leave our feet right there, but we move them along the line. And we cut kiriage. Very nice. Yep. Then let's do the other side. Step forward, tenkan, move the feet, kiriage. And I think technically, if this were just sword work, Nimata Sensei has told us that this side is a one-hand grip. I think the reason is that this hand won't reach, you know. If we're doing kiriage on this side, both hands can be fully extended and still hold the sword. If we're doing kiriage on this side, then this hand has to hold back if the other hand is still holding on. It kind of cramps the chest as well. So let's do a few more of those. You can do them at your own pace. Okay. And throughout, but especially during, throughout, but especially at the end is a good opportunity to check and see if your shoulders have gone up like that from the uppercut. See if you can keep the space between the shoulders and the ears. Self-policing. Continue. Very nice, very nice. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Excellent. Okay, let's switch to Shoto. Been a while since we used Shoto, maybe. Oh. Welcome our old friend back. Hey, okay, we'll hold it in the left and the right hand. Same, everything the same. Yes, looks good. Okay, now, even with the shoto, you can imagine somebody grabbing this wrist, okay? And here, come in with this wrist, all right? And we almost never work on katate dori irimi nage in my Zoom classes. Normally, what I'm doing is shomanuchi irimi nage, okay? But we're going to attempt tonight to do katate dori irimi nage, all right? And so you can imagine somebody grabbing this wrist and returning. And then we complete this movement. It's a little bit contrived, actually, but then we're going to make the next transition to not holding the sword, and then I think it will make sense nicely. So this empty hand is the one that's being grabbed. And then here. A couple more times, and then I'm going to add the missing piece, because there might be a missing piece, making everything feel a little weird. Also, this empty hand, and actually you are very, very good at this. I just mentioned it a couple times back months ago, I think when we were in the park maybe. And you're very consistent ever since then about keeping track of this free hand. It doesn't just like stay out here. So anyway, you're doing this for cuts and this, not just this arm dangling. So that's excellent. And when we come in here, you can let this hand stay. In fact, you can let it trace this line. Let me get closer. So we've got this foot forward and the shoto in this hand, the left and the left, okay? Then as we come through, you can let the hand come this way. Yeah, and what people like to do, especially when somebody's finally grabbing a hold of this wrist, is they keep this big gap between themselves and the wrist. Don't do that, okay? So just let this pass right by. In other words, tying in with what I was saying earlier, you're very good about sort of keeping your hands here, keeping track of your hands. So now it's here and it just goes right here. In fact, the whole arm can keep the contact with the body instead of coming out here. Just like, gosh, what was the context? I think you were in the class, but Numata Sensei was showing something about keeping this from falling, keeping something from falling while you're doing some movement. Okay, cool. So almost like that, as you're taking this step forward and turning, let your arm just stay against your body. Yeah. There are some styles actually where you'll be corrected, like, no, you're supposed to be like this, but this is not natural. Who walks around like this? Okay. So anyway, we imagine somebody grabbing this hand, which is right here at the moment, but then it comes forward and stays in front of your belly button. In fact, to be exact, the wrist ends up in front of your belly button. So and I'll do some sideways in a second as well. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. And we can complete the C footwork. Yeah. Okay. So now, as this free hand is moving this way, it can turn, it can rotate. Just like when you get pinned, nikkyo, You're lying on the floor. Somebody just threw you. You're lying on the floor like this. And they do this pin for Nikkyo. So it's almost the same. Here, 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 with the thumb down. You can see that, right? Yeah. Okay. So here, and it all stays right in front of your tongue then. Here and here and here. So now we'll set aside the shoto. And for example, we've got our right foot forward. We were holding the shoto left foot forward, holding the shoto with the left hand. And here. Okay. And again, I'm kind of stretching, I'm kind of reaching to tie these two together. Normally in the dojo, if we're going for katate dori, if we're offering katate dori, then we're already starting with this foot forward and this, and then they're grabbing this wrist. But to tie it in with C for katate dori, which we never do, you could easily imagine that you're going towards your partner, there's more distance. For whatever reason, you want to be proactive. And then you can come in and make it start that way. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. Very nice. And when there's another human grabbing a hold of our wrist, oftentimes the shoulders tighten up, they come upward. I'm exaggerating, of course, but to a certain degree, they come up, they get tight. Then our partner resists us more easily. So if we want a more cooperative partner, we have to embody cooperation. So we'll still do it with this different style footwork, thinking of cutting. They come in, we offer and accept this grip, and then thumb down. Okay, then the next step. And I think you did this way in the early days of Zoom, but I was teaching it a different way. Anyway, they grab, we turn, it goes thumbs down, and that releases us from the grip. And I'll show it from the side. I think that'll be easier. So, C pattern from the side. They come in, they take a hold of my wrist. I do tenkan and thumb down. So this releases me from their grip. Now their hand is free. And if this hand catches their wrist, then I can rearrange and put that same right hand back on top of their wrist. Okay? So again, I start with the left foot forward, got the shoto in the left hand. I can place my wrist in their hand, in their hand, tenkan, and rotating my hand. At the same time, this shoto hand can come and be ready for their hand that's soon going to be loose. So this is here, underneath. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I turn, and now when their hand comes loose, my lower hand is ready to capture it so that my upper hand can reorganize and grab their wrist. Oh, I'm teaching kotegaishi. Anyway, boy, it was a good beginning for kotegaishi, wasn't it? So let's see. Here, yeah, okay. Here and here. Then we take our tenkan, go up. So it's a bit different now from the footwork that we set it up for. Let's do kotegaishi a little bit more, and then we'll see if we can circle back to irimi nage from katate dori. But these katate dori techniques are challenging on Zoom. So anyway, I'll do it side to side once again. This time, right foot forward. Okay. and cutting here. And as I turn, I rotate my wrist, I capture their wrist, I rearrange, I reorganize them. Now my left hand is on top of their wrist. So as long as we're doing this kotegaishi, let's continue it. For omote, we just shift the weight forward so that they continue going forward. And turn the hips and back in. Yes, there it is. Yes. And just like kiriage, we want that to originate from the hip movement. Okay, so the hip movement is what initiates this cut. Well, a few other things that work too, like this sort of spring action, spring loaded thing that he's been showing. But anyway, hips as well. And so same thing, when we do fold over the wrist, make sure, even if your alignment is a little bit like this, it's gonna really affect it. It's gonna come from the chest. So really, really, when you're ready to fold over that wrist, really make sure, really make sure, yeah, that your shoulders are absolutely over your hips, not forward over the hips at all. Really over the hips, because that frees the hips up. Otherwise, the hips are kind of stiff and you're putting more chest and shoulder into your fold. Okay, I'll go here again. So now I've got my right foot forward and then step forward, and here, left hand rests on their right wrist. Send them forward, bring them around, and snap the hips. Yes, yes. Okay, now my left foot forward. Sorry. And here. We're just doing omote for now, by the way. Very nice, yeah. Now I'll go a little bit further away so you can get a more full view, just in case. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, a couple more. Go ahead and on face. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Okay, then let's take it to ura. So, yeah. Okay, with that backward step there. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Or, yeah. Yes, nice. Yes, 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 yes. Just ura a few more times. Uh-huh, a couple more. Mm-hmm. Yes. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to take big steps like we've been, and imagine that you're training with a real beginner who's real hesitant, real scared. So for ura, I might have explained before, but it's worth repeating. For ura, when the person really is moving a foot way back and turning, then it's almost impossible to do for uke to do a backward roll. They'd have to run all the way over here and do their backward roll. You'd have to wait for them. So, but a lot of people go through that if they're working with a beginner. But you don't have to. If they can do even a slow, scaredy cat kind of forward roll, then you can gradually build them into break falls later, and you don't need to teach a break fall. So you come this way, and then the back foot comes back, but you already start sinking lower, 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 and you just put their hand right on the tatami and let go of that. Okay, or from this side, here, already starts to go low, 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 boom. Yeah, very nice. A few more of those. Yes, looks good, looks good. Uh-huh. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let's just try a few more with kata dori iri minage. And I'm wondering actually if we actually can teach it with this initial step. We might have to do what Numata Sensei often talks about, which, no, anyway, okay. So we've got this shoto in this hand. Okay, so we have to let it go past us. But the point is, one of the points is that we're using this motion of the hand, or from the side, it's this, okay? And then for kotegaishi, we would have done tenkan when we did that, all right? But for iriminage, we're just, oh, in fact, beautiful. We're doing exactly what he's been emphasizing lately with the Jo. I don't even remember what technique he's using when he shows it, but he was talking a lot about letting the Jo pass through you and you passing through the Jo. Yeah. So this is the idea that we want, even though somebody's grabbing our wrist now. So same movement, okay? We just let our partner go through us. Or you could say we go through our partner. Yeah. And again, this one too, you'll see people in certain styles like, God, and coming around like this. But pretty easy to stop that. So we let this go through us, past us, but we don't take tenkan back with this foot. Then this hand goes on the far shoulder. Then we take tenkan with them, if that made sense. And my computer just gave me some sort of notice. You can still hear me? Okay. I didn't get to read it. It disappeared quickly, but anyway. So, oops. So if we really wanted to look like C with that initial step, then we offer them this hand and then let it go through. But that's a bit forced. So let's just go, let's sort of set that first step aside. Let's do a more natural C, more natural eating. So right foot forward, right hand being offered. They grab the right hand and then let them go through. And the movement is single eating movement. Okay. And now we're thumbs down and extending this hand. This bottom hand is ready to take a hold of their wrist, or more accurately in iriminage, this free hand goes on top of their wrist, come to think of that, like a blade. This hand then can go on their shoulder. Then tenkan in here. Then let's do it. This left foot forward and left hand offered. They grab, we let it come through us. Right hand is a blade on top of their wrist. Left hand is on their shoulder. And then tenkan. Yes, yes, yes. Just a reminder that when this hand is going down, make sure that the neck stretches up. We don't just do that. Very nice. Okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, beautiful. Excellent, excellent. Continue. Nice. Okay, then you can put together this and your tenkan. Okay, so it's not exactly the same as kotegaishi. It's not exactly the same timing. Kotegaishi, you want to be right here next to this person. Irimi nage, you want them to pass you by, and then tenkan. Okay, so you're taking a tenkan a little bit later in reference to I forget the word I'm looking for, but in reference to their movement, in relation to their movement, that was the word. You're going a little bit slower than kotegaishi. Kotegaishi, you're moving here to be next to them. So you haven't allowed them to go as far before your movement. Irimi nage, you're letting them come all the way to here as you're taking your tenkan. So it's still tenkan. Yes, 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 yes. So they come here and here. Yeah. Let them go past you and then tenkan. So it's sort of a tenkan with a delay. They're coming this way. I let them go through and yes. Yeah, couple more. Yes. Very nice. Yes, 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 yes. What happens oftentimes in the dojo with another human is that, let's see, people, what is it that they often do? Yeah. They try to do tenkan when the partner's still here, and they haven't done this part. They haven't done kiriage with the body, right? So you've got to do kiriage and then tenkan. We never think about this cutting with the hips. We never think about that for so many other techniques, right? Shomen comes, we just think about getting in to the right place at the right time. But when it's katate dori and irimi nage, we need this on our way in. We cannot skip that. If you skip that, then you need to rely on your partner being quote unquote nice and letting go of your wrist, or your partner not being very strong anyway, not having such a strong grip. But if somebody has a strong grip and they're being honest, then this is not gonna fly. It's not going to work. So you've got to sink into their center and cut. Koshi ga kiru. Cut with these hips, just like you did with kiriage. And then foot back. It's one of the things that I really love doing at the dojo. Chris Ziliotto is a great uke for that. I sink right into him and then go, and I see the reaction. He goes, woof, and takes the ukemi. So just a couple more, and then we've got to wrap it up. You know, I want to try it with the towel too. I'm newly inspired by this tonight. Okay. This is the one I'm being wrapped. Yeah. Okay, so I'll start with it in this. Nothing special by using the towel, as far as I'm concerned. Not a big aid. Okay, so we keep it in this hand. Comes around. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the towel makes things a little bit more complicated for katate. Yeah, one or two more, and then we'll say, oh, we're over time, but one more. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. All right. All right. Shoman knee. Right. Hey. Nice. Nice, nice.
Hey, thank you, Sensei.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thought of you the other day. I went to, or yesterday, I got my first dose of Moderna.
Oh, congrats. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You know, I just kind of, I was, without you having said that and sent me that link, I kind of probably would have been more passive, like, oh, it's probably not my turn yet or something. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I can do it. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm actually going in for my second on Saturday. So
oh, wow.
yeah.
Nice.
They say you're supposed to feel more symptoms that time, so I'm probably going to be taking a sick day this weekend, but you know, that's all right. But that's okay.
Cool.
As long as I've only heard it last for about a day, so that's
good.
Fine by me. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. You know, my allergies have been bugging me a lot for the past maybe 2 weeks, maybe even more. So today I felt pretty much the same as that, and I haven't looked at my pollen app to see what the count is, but I think it's still high.
Yeah,
so,
it's been pretty windy.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so I think that I really didn't have any symptoms at all from the vaccination, and my arm, like I always sleep on my left side, and I got the injection on my left side. But I didn't notice it at all when I was asleep. And I only notice it if I reach over and I push on it and I go, oh yeah, right, I got it.
Yeah.
So far, like no problem at all.
Good.
So,
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think mine felt slightly sore because I got it on a Saturday, and then I think it was not until Numata Sensei's class on Monday afterwards that I like just working it felt so much better. Yeah.
oh, good.
I felt like the next day I was just like, oh yeah, I don't feel it anymore.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen, another thing. So speaking of the vaccine, I sent a text to Nicole today asking about schools. She said that the schools, what she has heard is that, I think she said the end of April, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I remember hearing about gyms is, I think at one point I heard 10% capacity not too long
Yeah.
ago. And then
I think as of Monday, it opened up to either 10% or 20%. I forget the exact numbers, but
okay.
because unrelated to the vaccine, well, I guess kind of related, is that the county got 2 weeks in very low numbers of new cases.
I
And
see.
so that allowed like movie theaters and like gyms and stuff to reopen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think as of Monday that became enacted. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just still thinking about the logistics, adults, kids, rental negotiations then too. So I think what needs to happen next, hopefully I'll hear back from Nicole. I think I sent her also a text saying something like, how are parents feeling about it right now? If I said, okay, let's go back on this Thursday, what would that be like? I mean, I don't think I'm kind of ready for that yet anyway, just logistically.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I'm thinking is that, you've got all these restrictions being lifted all over the place and mandates and everything. But then you've got these experts saying like, whoa, don't go spiking the ball in the 5-yard line. So,
yeah, it definitely worries me too.
okay, yeah. And so you're one of the first people that I think of when I think about all that stuff, because I'm like, oh my gosh, Ben never misses class. And Ben would probably be like really revved up to get back to in-person training. But I wonder where they're at with like, these things that are also in my mind. So my feeling right now, without hearing anything back from Nicole as a representative of kids class and everything, and without having contacted David and Chris to see where they're at, and then also Sasha and Ellis are members, but I just haven't seen them or talked to them in a while. So and they were never as regular as Chris and David. So there's sort of a few tiers. Like you're on the top tier all by yourself there. You're like, okay, Ben's always there. And then Chris and David are like really solid as far as keeping the connection and just never being on Zoom, but they're like really solid as far as their membership feeling, communication, everything. And then there's the other tier where like, okay, they're there, and how into it are they? So without knowing any of that, kids, the different adult tiers, my feeling is, I just realized